Alright guys, welcome to Remax episode 23. Why are you guys laughing? Did I fuck up something?
No, you missed out on a conversation, that's all.
Oh, god damn it, you guys. That's what I get for doing the show. So yeah guys, welcome to Remax episode 23. Today we're going to talk about retirements and a few more things. And yeah, let's just go and start the intros. So, HuK, welcome back, my man. How have you been?
Good. Not talking to you for a while, not being on the show was a good break, I guess. Got to chill, be less stressed, less angry. But now I'm back for some more punishment from desRow. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh my god.
Yeah? Alright. What about you, NaNiwa? How have you been?
I've been good. It's good to be playing some StarCraft, to be honest. It feels good to not have teammates, I guess.
It was crazy. Everyone was so sad when you didn't play the first two qualifiers, but then you came in like a wrecking ball.
Well, honestly, I was doing really bad in practice, and I didn't want to embarrass myself losing in the first rounds. That's why I didn't play. But yeah,
that's cool.
I think I underestimated how much experience actually does in these kind of games.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, ToD? How are you? How have you been?
I've been pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah?
Are you going somewhere? I can hear you smile. I can't see you because you didn't turn on your camera for us.
That desRow smile.
Is there a Heroes reference going somewhere?
No, I'm just happy to see you, man.
Okay. You should be, because it's my last time on the show.
Oh, wow. Oh, god damn it. Alright, so how's the Euros life, man?
Oh, here we go.
What?
It's good.
Okay, cool. Good. Awesome. Alright, well, let's start with the first topic, guys. Retirements. We have two fitting guests on the show. ToD, who's done it twice now, I guess, with Warcraft and StarCraft. Then NaNiwa, who's kind of done it, but is now back. So, yeah, we'll just start with that. If you guys have any questions, you can always go to the subreddit StarCraft and ask your questions in there. I didn't set up the bot, so just taking my copy-paste for it. But yeah, let's start with it. We'll just get everyone's thoughts. Like, I guess we'll start with HuK, since, like, me and you, we kind of never retired. I don't know if you retired from Brood War, I guess.
No,
but,
not really.
Like, if you were to retire, what would be, like, why? Why would you retire?
Well, I think always the biggest reason is money, right? I mean, that's like the easiest thing to say. I mean, if everybody here, even ToD and NaNiwa, when they retired, if they were making like $80,000, $120,000 a year, even if they really disliked the game, I don't think they would retire. Maybe I'm wrong. So the first thing is always going to be money, I feel like, and then obviously the second's going to be probably for me the future. Like pro gaming is a very unstable thing as far as life choices, especially if you don't have like an education or you can't go to school or something like that. It might not be the case for some of these Europeans, because I know school's a lot cheaper or free there. But for me, it's like after pro gaming, if you can't work in esports in some way or something and you weren't that successful, you're basically going to like a grocery store and applying. And then even then, you might not be able to get a job because you're going to put on your resume like work experience the last 3 years playing StarCraft 2. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is that, man? Like, we can't help you with that. Sorry." So I think those are the two biggest, and then obviously the third would be just like you don't enjoy the game anymore. I mean, that's a really big one as well. But I feel like if you don't enjoy the game and you're still making a shitload of money, you'd still do it.
What about you, NaNiwa? Would you say when you stop playing Warcraft 3, would you consider it like a retirement?
Well,
Like
if I had a career, it's a really good discussion, I guess.
yeah.
I was not like ToD or Grubby, who were like really big in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They were in top teams all the time. They got probably a pretty big salary too.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I was just going to school and I played Warcraft 3 at the same time for fun because I always loved these kind of games. So
Okay.
it's not the same as for ToD.
Okay. ToD, what would you say? What was your motive? Like, why did you retire from Warcraft originally?
I think like when you stop having fun in a game is like the worst things. Like if you plan on keep on playing it for like many years, like the moment you lose passion for it, then that's when you pretty much have to retire. So for me, it was really when I stopped having fun on the game, when I got sick and fed up with it, and I stopped playing it. And I played it for a very long time. Like video games, even though like you can have them as like a main hobby and passion, and like they can be all your life. At least in my case, that's how it goes a lot of the time. It's not like we call it esports. To me, it's not like football or something that you can literally like be passionate about and play your entire life without ever being sick of it. Also, like the scene always moves. And as soon as the scene starts getting smaller and smaller, like, people will move to a newer game. So in that regard, HuK is right that there will not be like a very good future for that game that you've been playing for a long time, or money. So to me, like passion and fun is very important, and then money obviously as well.
Mm-hmm. You think it's possible to be successful without passion?
I don't think so. Maybe there could be a few exceptions, but I think if you don't really enjoy the game that you play, it's extremely hard to be very good at it and do well in it.
Mm-hmm. What about you, NaNiwa? Do you think it's successful? Is it possible to be successful without passion?
I think you can reach a certain level. Without being too passionate, you can still like force yourself, I guess. But unless you love it, it's impossible to take that. Like you can practice 8 hours a day, but without passion, it's really hard to go like 12 hours every single day,
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is needed to take the last few steps to becoming a really good player. At least that's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But personally for me, like there is obviously a lot of reasons why I retired.
Yeah.
Like it was my best contract by far I've ever had in esport. Like money-wise, but I was thinking for a long time about retiring. But it's always, I feel like if you never retired, it's just something you always like throw out there, like you do badly in a few tournaments, so you don't feel as passionate about the game anymore and so on. So I think it was a bit of a hasty decision for me when I think about it now, but I really didn't have a choice either way because of what happened in the tournament, so it's fine.
I see.
I made my peace.
Yeah, you have to live with it. So, yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts? Do you think you could be successful without passion? I mean, you were a teammate of Edra, like the biggest passionless motherfucker there's ever been.
Yeah, and I think for a long time it was obvious that he was one of the cases that he forced himself to practice and he didn't really enjoy the game, and his results obviously suffered. I think the biggest thing is there's like two ways you can play the game. Like you can force yourself and like say, I need to play 8 hours a day to be successful as a pro gamer, and then you force yourself to play those 8 hours. But if you're not really consciously trying to win every game and try to learn from your mistakes and like, look at replays, look at VODs and like really pick up and learn more about the game, like if you don't have that passion, anybody can robot and like play 8 hours, lose half the games, win half the games, and then just like put no actual thought into the game. Because I've been there, I've done that when the schedules were too tough or I was burnt out, and you don't improve. Like your mechanics will always be good, but you need mechanics plus a good thought process behind it to be successful. I think you can be successful though without a lot of passion. Obviously you can't hate the game, but even if you don't enjoy the game as much as you used to, like for me personally, I like competing. So I take losses very hard and I enjoy winning, and competing is like really fun to me, separate from StarCraft 2 specifically.
since you kind of, I don't know if you want to talk about them because it's sort of like their personal lives, but there was 2 questions on Reddit that we can answer now. What happened to most pros, casters, esports people who retire from their game without an education? And then you have A Pro and General, I guess, who are close friends of yours. Do you want to talk about their story? Or?
Jinro's very successful. He's in Korea still. He has a nice Korean girlfriend. He rents an apartment. He's doing well financially. He plays poker. He has like a nice balance in life. He's very dedicated to doing well in poker, and he enjoys it as a job. And then he has a separate life outside of that where he spends time with his girlfriend, plays fun games with like me and our little group of friends, and does MMA. And he has like a very balanced life that he loves. He loves being in Korea. He loves everything in his life right now. So he's very happy. Hey Pro, on the other hand, is he's making steps towards being more happy, I guess. He's still happy. We still play games. We still hang out and talk. But I feel like he wants more in his life. But he's definitely working towards that. He's going to school soon, I think in like a day or 2, to start classes to become a teacher. He's like really smart in math. He has a really good math degree. And Sweden needs math teachers apparently, so all he has to do is finish his teaching degree or whatever they need there, and he's going to become a teacher. So both of them are, you know, fine in life, but I'm sure there's a lot of pro gamers that are less successful and less intelligent than they are, and they're probably going to suck, you know? I mean, I'm sure there's like a lot of borderline pro gamers. Like, I can't even think, who's the guy that Cruncher on NA? Like... Not that he's necessarily in bad shape, but I could picture him being one of those guys that like spent 5-6 years not taking pro gaming seriously, never being that successful, and then he's working at a grocery store for like the next 20 years because he has no education.
Didn't he quit a long time ago?
Yeah, but he still played for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm sure even you could think of some like somewhat successful, not successful pro gamers that were always on like the verge of doing well but never really made it. Spend a lot of time trying and then they don't make it. It's a lot worse in North America than it is in Europe, because in Europe you guys have a lot more social services to rely on. But in America, if you can't get a job, like you're homeless, you're poor, you can't eat, like you're pretty much fucked. You know? I mean, I'm not like I'm hating on America and saying Europeans are better in that sense. And you can always go to school for cheaper. Like in the U.S., if you want to go to school, it's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. So if you're not successful, you won't have the money for that.
What about you, ToD? Have you ever thought about like stop doing esports and like your years after esports? Or
did you say do stuff in esports or out of esports?
No, out of esports. Like,
not really. To be honest, like esports is really where my passion is. Like I've been in it for a long time now, 10+ years, and I really enjoy it. So I don't really have any reason to be like, hey, you know what? You know what? I like a snowboard. I'm gonna move to that scene, like do something there. Yeah, no real reason. I just like video games a lot, and I plan on staying in that community for a long time, unless I lose my passion again. Then I will move on to something else.
So you're gonna be the next Red Eye? That's okay.
I would love to be the next Red Eye. Red Eye is a badass. So
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, yeah, to me, like staying in esports means that right now I don't play competitively in StarCraft. I'm trying to do that in Heroes of the Storm, but I'm fine with like casting, doing pretty much anything. Like managing a team would be fine with me. Even working behind the scenes on tournaments, I even think I would like that. I got involved a little, like very briefly, with some of the production of some of the tournaments I went to last year, and I really liked it, like how everything is set up and like how you try to put on the best show possible. So we'll see what the future brings.
What about you, NaNiwa? Have you ever thought about life past esports? What
Of course.
Johan Luchesi would want to do?
Close enough, I guess.
I tried.
Yeah, of course. Like, I was away from Circuit for a year. Of course, I did a lot of thinking, but it's a similar case to HuK, I guess. Like, I like the competing part more than I like the actual StarCraft, so it's not so hard for me to actually like play the game a lot, I guess. But I was going to take a few classes now in January to do some other stuff, but I don't know. I'm lazy, and also I was feeling like StarCraft 2 was really fun when I played it. Just a few games here and there, you know. So I just played more and more, and I still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the scene is obviously not looking very great at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's Legacy of the Void hope too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, at the end of last year, I was contemplating maybe setting a time for retirement, and then I re-signed my contract like a month or two ago, so I'm signed for another year. And I think a lot of people, it's like you said, that you made your choice as far as retiring after whatever that IEM event it was. But I always feel like I would never leave until like I'm completely passionless and I know for sure I don't want to do it, because I always feel like there'll be like a level of regret. Like if I retired this year and didn't play, and then Legacy of the Void came out and it was like really fun, or it changed the game a lot, or you know the scene got bigger or whatever, I always feel like to a certain degree I would regret not giving it my all for like one last year or 2 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have similar feelings, guys? Or am I-
Oh,
Yeah.
am I supposed to weigh in? Yes, definitely. Oh, of course, I recognize a lot of what you're saying. I think most pro gamers who have been around since our era, I guess you can call it now,
Yeah.
for a long time, and we were pretty successful in our days, I would say. I think everyone who achieves something, they always want more, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't get to that point. So,
Yeah.
of course, I always want to win more, but it's not that easy now. Like to get teams to invest in you, and you, I'm sure even like specifically you know that the salaries are not the same now.
Of course.
So it always takes some adjusting to do, but it's also really sad that there's not as many tournaments, which is the biggest part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really enjoyed the tournaments and competing, so I don't know. It was really fun though to play the WCS Qualifier, because it's like everybody is on the same starting point, I guess. Like nobody is invited and so on, so I will at least try to play for a year as well, and we will see, I guess.
Nice.
But I don't have a team, I don't have like the EG contract, so we will see.
Now, how much do you practice compared to before?
Now, maybe 3 hours a day or so. But
That's
it's
2
only because I'm
games.
waiting for WCS Qualifier. Like, as far as I understand, it's you get one opponent, right?
Yes. You
And
get
then
one
have to beat
opponent
them
best
to
of
get
5.
into Premier. So
Yes.
I'm just like watching every VOD I can, trying to take care of that carpal tunnel, you know, that we all have,
Yeah.
and then just prepare for that.
It's also based on WCS points from last year. So if let's say you're the last person, so like let's say you're the 14th person rated as far as WCS points, then you're going to be playing the first person.
So then if Snoot qualifies, I play him?
Yes.
Oh, that's
maybe.
nice.
Yeah. Well,
Could've
I don't
been
know
worse.
I don't know if you're last, and I don't know if he's necessarily first. When it
But I have 0 points since I didn't play.
all last year? Didn't you have a few? I don't know what the time zones. You would have to check. It's easy to check on Wikipedia, and I think 4GG might be first too, but it's easy to check.
Oh no, not Terran, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
we all know
Terran.
that. We all know that. We all know that feel.
Yeah.
Terran on Inferno pools. No, stop.
So desRow, do you want to talk about when you decided to retire as a StarCraft 2 player and become the host of Remax? Do you want to share your personal experience with that, or what?
Well, I guess.
Or do you want to talk about how you're considering about retiring from hosting Remax right now? Hey, didn't you?
Is he?
I heard some rumors about you telling people that you were sick in Dota or something, because I know you came from Dota and Warcraft originally.
Yes.
All the Dota 2 players I've ever talked to said desRow was horrible.
What? But
No, Dota, the first Dota, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
the
even
first
came-
Dota. Yes,
Yes,
the first
no, okay,
from
so
Dota 2.
Here's the
That-
thing, right? All right. So there was an announced league with all the pros, all the people at the international from Europe and NA. They were in that announced league, and I was the fucking guy making coffee at 3 a.m. to go play with the Europeans. But since I was like the bottom of the barrel, I would support every game. So obviously when you die fucking 10 times because you're the support, you're like the last leg, no one gives a shit about you. Of course they had a bad image of me. But yeah, I stopped playing Dota. And I was like, okay, I'll get my shit together. I'll stop, like, spending so much time on the internet. And of course that didn't happen. um, because the internet is awesome. But no, I think retiring is it's something tricky. Like I thought about it in StarCraft like multiple times, where like things weren't working out like financially, or just like I wasn't happy with my skill or my progress. You know, climbing the ladder of success, and whether it's competing or streaming. But it's all about like, as long as you're happy and you think you can make it work, and there's like growth and there's like a future that you can see yourself, I think you should stick with what you want and what you like. So.
But didn't you say you were gonna get paid by doing this show, like a few days ago, and like a week ago or something?
Paid by, what do you mean?
Like you said, guests and the hosts would get paid by being on this show.
Yes, well
Was it all a lie, desRow?
we started a Patreon. People in chat, if you want to check it out.
What?
A Patreon. Do you know what a Patreon
What's
is?
that? No.
Oh my god.
Well,
It's
what
like it's like a donation site basically, where you set certain goals and then people can endorse your tournament or your show, or like Livy has one, you know, the people that do Carbot, the little cartoons.
Yes, I've seen her donation list and I'm pretty jealous, I guess.
But the site is very different. So like for the Carbot guys, they get like 1.6K or something for every episode they release. So you can do it per episode, per month, or whatever.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the goal is to raise money so we can do more fun stuff with Remax. There's a bunch of perks. You know, if you want to become a guest on the show, we'll make you a star as much as we can.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Star.
Yes. We sold out just a little bit.
Oh really? Did you sell out?
Yes, so me and HuK agreed on everything. All right, so it's not just me going off the rails here.
I had no say in this at all.
What?
I don't know why I'm involved in this.
What? Don't
Pretty
lie.
sure the EG lawyers are already sending a lawsuit to you, desRow.
Oh my man, you're killing me. All right, so guys, that pretty much covers the retirement talk of the show. Just, you know, the perspective from NaNiwa, ToD, since they've sort of done it, and HuK, who's not done it. And so yeah, let's just talk with we have a few topics for the week, a lot of interesting stuff happening. Do you guys want to start with the GungfuBanda thing?
Yes, that sounds fine.
Well, I'm not surprised. All right, so I guess Jensen, the player who was playing GungfuBanda today in the qualifier, he was offered by GungfuBanda $1,000, or no, I guess he asked $1,000.
Yes.
Just go with it. Explain it. You're better.
You
Than
should post a screenshot.
Yes.
Post in chat. Basically, very early in the tournament, GungfuBanda lost to some relative random guy. Is he that random? I don't know who
Jensen's not bad. ToD, do you know him? He's French.
I never heard of him.
I've never heard of him.
I lost to him actually, one of my last matches that I played, and
so he's not bad.
We had the same thing as this, but like instead of trying to bribe him, I flamed him, but it never made it to Reddit. No, he's very cheesy actually. He went to a bunch of DreamHacks and he's like all about fast DTs or like fast targets that he has on the map. And I think he's pretty good actually in PvP, so it doesn't surprise me he beat GungFu. Yeah, he's not bad. He was Grandmaster like many seasons in a row.
Okay.
And you said you flamed him, and what else did you say?
It never made it to Reddit. So that's why these days, like when
Why
I
are
see
you
like
saying?
stuff,
I know.
Why are you saying that you flamed him now?
You're
I
being
mean,
honest.
He's out of StarCraft 2. He moved
I'm
on
just
to this
a
Europe.
little
He
bit
doesn't
surprised
care.
that these days so many people.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah, so many people are posting screenshots. I'm like, holy shit! Like I used to do this every day.
Yeah,
Nobody ever posted.
I agree. People seem to be surprised on SC Reddit of pro gamers being BM, but pro gamers have been BM the whole time. And just recently, people started posting a lot of screenshots and proof of that. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's fine to a certain degree. I think a lot of people that...
I think for us, pro gamer, we understand it because we know how stressful it can be to be pro gamer. Like the losses that you have to take every day is like so fucking stressful.
Well, I like it because there's certain pro gamers that have like this squeaky clean reputation of being like the nicest people in the world. And then sometimes they like something comes out and they're like, wow, they're actually like they seem like a douchebag. Where like you, for example, Todd, like people know how you are. Not to say that you're a complete douchebag. You're a very nice guy in a lot of ways, but you do have your moments. But that's known. You're not like fake. You're not like
when I lose, I'm like a totally different person. That's the thing about me. Like
that's
everybody.
how most pro gamers are, to be honest. Like there's like fuck man, like one MLG, I almost got into a fight with the ref. Like, there was like big problems. I'm definitely one of the worst players when I lose. I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. I don't want to be at the venue. I don't want anything to do with the tournament. But I feel like a lot of people aren't upfront with that, and they come off very squeaky clean. And now people are realizing that there's definitely a lot of fake personas.
Wait, so are you saying like the TLOs of this world ruin it for everybody?
I'm not saying they ruin it. I just like I like being upfront and honest, you know? So when people that aren't that way and then people finally realize, oh, they're not that way, it's like, well, no shit, we've known that for like a long time and now the rest of Reddit can know it too.
Yeah, everybody has demons and a dark side, obviously. Like it's normal to lose patience sometimes, like when you take the one loss too much. Which for me was every loss, and there was a lot of them. So.
But this is a little extreme, though.
The people who act nice publicly, I don't think they are fake, because they have to be nice publicly if they want to preserve a good image. So I wouldn't call them fake. They are just like good at being like public figure.
But like, for me, it's a conscious choice. I can be really fake, but I don't want to be really fake because I think I don't like that, you know? So like I could be only like super nice, super clean, like never say anything controversial, always agree with public opinion, always go along with whatever Reddit's saying that week, but I choose not to do that because I don't believe it's the right thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a very big difference between being able to control it and choosing that or not choosing that. But anyways, this is completely different than what this fucking guy did. GungfuBanda, it's like bribery, you know? It's not like he was fake. It was like he basically bribed a guy to get past in the next round, which is kind of, it's like very ethically and morally fucked up, in my opinion.
Thanks for bringing us back on subject.
I'm trying. I'm doing the host
job. Your co-host Tribes.
I'm trying. desRow's just fucking sitting there. He doesn't have his camera
I wasn't. No. I was.
We don't know what he's doing.
No,
he's
I was
the whole time.
I was enjoying your discussion about the being BN part. I agree,
okay.
but let's go back on topic. So yeah, he tried to bribe his opponent, and then Jason was like open to the idea only if it was $1,000. If you send me 1K, maybe I can give you the win for you. Smiley face.
Yeah, the Europeans are very good with the passive-aggressive smiley faces.
Yes.
Even
my
NaNiwa.
Favorite.
Yeah, NaNiwa with like the XD, it's like every...
It says it all.
Yeah, can be interpreted in many ways. Yeah, it's a fucked up thing. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
What would you think is the correct course of action as the tournament here, HuK? What would you do?
Ban from WCS at least this season. At least. I think banning...
or the other guy as well?
GungfuBanda. I think like the other guy, he didn't do anything necessarily wrong to that point.
But he said that if you give me 1,000.
Yeah, but you don't. He could always say.
That's kind of wrong though. Naming a price.
Yeah, but he could always say like I was baiting him into doing it because I didn't think it was right.
That's pretty BM too.
That's not a good excuse. Like
baiting a player into being disqualified is pretty BM as well, I would say.
Well, either way, I think GungfuBanda for sure should be banned, and then maybe Jason too. I mean, it's really hard to say. Sometimes Blizzard seem very strict on things, and then sometimes they seem very lenient. So I don't know. I would at least ban them for this season. I think banning them for the whole year from WCS would be pretty extreme.
I think so too. You guys might not know this about me, but when I played Warcraft 3, like very early on, I cheated twice. As in, I aliased. Like I played on somebody else's nickname in the league, in like the biggest league. I
did that in Brood War too.
And I got banned. I got banned twice.
I didn't get caught, but I smurfed in Brood War for money too.
So I got banned for like I think 1 or 2 seasons or something. Which back then, I mean, it was the only tournament we had to play online, so it was a pretty big deal for me. But I accepted it. I realized that it was fucking stupid to do it. And yeah, the second time was also really not bad.
How much did you do? How much did you get paid for?
I didn't get paid.
I got paid. I wouldn't do that shit if I was gonna.
There was like.
Go ahead.
But I think it was very good for the scene because it was an example set, and then like nobody even like I think thought about doing this thing, and like me, I didn't realize I was like 17 or something, so I just like played on somebody's account one single match, and then like I won obviously because I was pretty good, and then like some team that wasn't supposed to beat this other team beat them, so it raised suspicion, and like people found out about it, and then like yeah.
Yeah,
like, I'm pretty ashamed, but at the same time, I think it serves as a very good example of not to do stupid shit like this.
And you learn from it too, because
Yeah.
you immediately and that's the thing. This kid's 16 years old. He isn't 28, 29, 20 whatever. He's only 16. He's been in the scene for a very small amount of time. Just started getting popular. It's not like he fucking did a savior move and had this like grand scheme of a scandal and have paying players to throw matches and shit. He's literally desperate because he really wants to be in WCS. So he offers to do this kind of fucked up thing. And I feel like the punishment fits the crime as far as being banned from this WCS season. Anything more than that, I mean, I think it's too much. If you ban him from WCS for a year, like I would probably retire at that point. I think at that point
2 seasons.
Yeah, I think 2 seasons.
2 season, yeah, maybe. I mean, he still
Because
has
one
other
season is-
tournaments he can
One
play
season
in.
is maybe too little because like qualifiers are almost over and like he didn't qualify yet.
Yeah, so then it wouldn't even almost be 2 seasons. It would be like a qualifier in another season. That would definitely be a possibility. I just hope, because a lot of people on SC Red are like, he should just be banned. You need to be very strong-armed about these kind of things, and I think it's a little too much. I think banning for a season or 2 would fit the crime perfectly.
Yeah, what about you, NaNiwa? What are your thoughts on this? You tweeted.
I was going to be like, hang him. There's a tree, just fucking hang him.
No, I'm very reasonable. I think I do think that HuK has a really good point, to be honest. Like, he is only 16, he's very young. But still, there needs to be some example, right? And as far as I know, there's a lot of hackers in NA right now.
Yeah.
So that would also be an incentive to put a really strong punishment, I would say. Like, 2 seasons seems pretty okay. But with the stage that StarCraft 2 is in right now, it might be too much, to be honest.
Dude, but it's not like you're banning.
Yeah, but you mean
He's
only
not like
from
a huge
WCS.
star or anything.
Like,
yeah, and he can still
he
play
might
in
get
other
kicked from his
tournaments.
team as well and stuff like that. So,
But he's only 16. It's not like he needs the money to pay the bills and he's not living at home, you know? He's not going to be living on the streets.
I don't know. I'm so soft-hearted,
Yeah, I mean,
I can't help it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really look at that. Like all you should be thinking about is whether it's okay or not, and it's definitely not okay to cheat.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
you should
okay.
be punished no matter what. Have you ever cheated, anyone?
I have not cheated.
Never.
Except for playing Protoss, I guess. But... No, I haven't done anything like that.
Not
I
even,
think
like,
I think a
stream
lot
sniping?
of I think a lot of people have at least done something, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, for Brood War, I smurfed for money, and it's something I regret. But at the same time, at that time, I needed money, and I needed the risk reward made sense to me. But if I got punished, I would have accepted it. I wouldn't have like raised a big hassle and like said this is bullshit if I did get caught. Yeah, he just made a very stupid mistake at the level he's at the chance he has to qualify. Him being on a team, being pretty good as it is, doing well in different online tournaments. It was just a really stupid call from him, and he should be punished. I don't
How
think
many times did you do it, smurfing?
a decent amount. Yeah, a decent amount. I beat Idra actually in Brood War when I was smurfing for a national team in Canada B, and then he flamed me and called me a hacker even in Brood War many years ago. So
That's nice.
Sick bribe.
thanks. I always like to bring it up.
I didn't
every
even
time
know
I
you
say
played Brood
Greg
War,
too.
man.
There's a lot of the old NA players like Idra used to like talk shit on me because they said I wasn't as good as I was, but at the same time Idra he remembers the game that I beat him, so he has to admit that I was pretty good. I was pretty good. I beat Noni too. I just I wasn't that well known, I guess, and I didn't care that I wasn't well known.
And now it's all you care about. What's happened, man?
Yeah, the biggest drama. Gotta be there.
Yeah. So so that happened, guys. Good luck to GungfuBanda. I don't know, just stay strong, buddy. It's all gonna be okay eventually. All right, next topic: WCS qualifiers thus far. There's a few storylines. Up until yesterday, Snoot still wasn't qualified. Polt is still not qualified. What are your thoughts on the current warfare out there, NaNiwa?
What is the question? I don't get it. Warfare?
Yeah, warfare. Like, you know, like, do you think it's really tough? Do you think the qualifiers are easy? Do you what are your
NA
thoughts?
qualifiers or what?
EU.
Both,
Yeah,
I guess.
Both, yeah.
Like, consider Scarlet and Polt still haven't qualified. It took Snoot 4 or 5 qualifiers to qualify, and like consider that in both regions, you would obviously expect Polt to be qualified by now, right? Maybe
Yeah, of
even
course, of
Scarlet.
course. But I saw his
earlier.
bracket, and he played against Hydra, which
And then-
I expected him to lose.
And then Kane.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect that, of course. So that's a bit of a surprise, but like Snoot wasn't a big surprise to me that he
Oh,
lost.
really?
Like, I've always had this prejudice, I guess, against the Snoot's playstyle. Like, if you get into a long game, he's kind of like Hydra, but a better player, obviously. Like, if you let him do whatever he wants, he will usually beat you. But he's the kind of guy who doesn't really adapt very well. Like,
he
he
always
always
goes
opens
same
pool
build.
first, for example. He always plays identical, and he has a map for how he wants the game to go. So when I saw his opponents, I thought he could lose. Like, do you guys know about PT Drogo?
Yes.
I think he's pretty good, actually. And especially against Zerg, like, he has a different style. So
I just like him because every time I played him on ladder thus far, even when I'm on a barcode, he always GG's, always good luck, have fun. I mean, I guess it helps that he qualified for EU, so he doesn't really give a shit about the ladder. If he lost, I'm sure he'd be a little bit more salty, but a lot of Europeans are quite BM.
so you have
He has a
Spark.
pretty good attitude, I think. He also, like, he plays in the Mind Sanity team house for quite a bit, like a few months now. So I think, like, also those results, like, sure, they are a little bit surprising, but keep in mind there was like a pretty long off season. I think it was like after BlizzCon and then maybe DreamHack, where like there was no tournaments. So a lot of players, they took like a pretty long break where they either stopped practicing or practiced a lot less. I don't know about you, HuK, but I think
I did.
like
I
a
took
lot of
a
players
break.
did that.
Yeah, I took a break. And then you have people like Apollo, who's a caster and took a break for like 3 months. All I see is like
What?
the whole time he after BlizzCon, he's just been gone.
Took a break
But
from what?
Casting, I guess.
you know how hard it is, like, for a player if you stop playing for like 2 weeks or 1
Yeah,
month to
you
come
don't
back and like
feel it.
start playing again. Yeah, like it's very hard. Like it takes some time to get back in the swing of things, and like maybe it's what happened, I think, to like Polt and Snoot and maybe Scarlet.
I don't
I
know, it
think
was pretty easy.
I think Scarlet, she like accepted she doesn't have the passion she used to. You know, I know she openly plays a lot of Dota 2, and she openly doesn't play a lot of StarCraft. Where in Snoot's case, I think he's always been a hard worker, but like NaNiwa said, he's too easy to read. He always does the same shit. But I definitely agree. Even if I take like 2 days off, even a day almost, you come back and those first games, you just feel like, fuck, I'm just gonna lose every game for a while because I'm just too slow. I can't feel it.
But yeah, I'm pretty surprised when I came back. There are a lot of new players. I don't even know if they're new, to be honest. But there was a lot of players who became a lot better. Like
I think there's a lot of
PT Drogo, and then Marine Lord became good from being like the worst player ever. And then,
Marine Lord.
yeah, he was like Master League, always flaming me on the ladder. And now he's like rank 1 GM,
Wow.
like raping me up and down every game.
Well,
it's pretty
actually that's motivation and passion for you. Like both of these French guys, Tirogo and Marine Lord, they just play a ton and like super motivated for quite a bit now. They take the game very seriously. They're full time, and that's how they got this good. Like no other way.
it's the same way in NA. We're seeing a lot of up and coming younger players that were like.
There isn't really anyone who really impressed me as far as I saw so far. Like Astrea was decent, but
Kane's really good. All the Europeans I talked to that have played against Kane say that they think he's really, really good.
Yeah, but it's
But he
different.
was in
He's been
EU a
around
lot,
for a long time.
Huh?
He was, yeah, he was good. Like when I quit the game, he was like ranked top 5 GM in Europe. So it's not like he was a new player.
Yeah, I guess.
But also his Zerg, you can't really. We all know the real truth about the game.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. I think that's one of the subjects.
Yeah, yeah.
No, okay. Tell me some
desRow,
more
welcome
names.
back. Welcome back, desRow.
Give me some
Where have
more
you
names,
been?
HuK, from the
More names?
American players.
Astria is pretty good. Bales is pretty good. Let me look. Gotta look at a list.
Yeah.
There has to be somebody else.
Massa.
Massa.
QXC has actually like gotten. Yeah, I remember QXC was really good in the beta, and then he like didn't do anything for a while, but he's starting to get better. Might just be Terran, but either way, he's getting better. It's really hard to say because obviously I have a certain level of bias, but I feel like a lot of them are Zerg and Terrans that have all of a sudden gotten better in the last few months.
Know. I feel the same.
I think
There's so many good players on EU now.
I think
That's how I feel.
I think
Yeah.
Astria deserves like a lot of props. Like people don't understand. Like that guy was gone for so long, and then he comes back like a month before the qualifiers, and he just like ladders every day for 10 hours, and then he fucking plays like a god and qualifies. Like, well, I mean, god is debatable since it's any qualifier, but still,
No,
like,
he played pretty well against Scarlet. I saw the games.
mhm.
I thought after game 1 like was a easy win for Scarlet. I thought he wouldn't be able to do it, but
So you're impressed with an A player? Is that what you're admitting here?
yeah, he was decent for sure. I was a bit disappointed in game 1 because I heard a lot of hype, but then he won 2 games and he played a lot better. I always like to see new players bring something like a new strategy or whatever. Like Lilbo, for example, he and PT Drogo and so on, they have their own PvC style, and it's pretty cool to see.
I don't watch enough of them, so
You don't know what they do?
no, I don't know
No.
what to do. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that separate from the show, though. Hey, I actually
Why
practice. I
don't you pay
have...
attention to other players? HuK?
All you do is watch streams, all right? I'm busy.
Your ego. Oh my God.
Anyways,
You can learn so much, man.
I watch the Koreans.
HuK
But-
doesn't want to mix it up from his mass gateways attacks.
Yeah,
But they
okay.
also do that. So it fits
Yeah, but
perfectly.
without sentries.
Anyways, let's move on. As a host, I am moving away from the HuK Gateway conversation, and we're moving on to something else. Go ahead, desRow, take it away.
That's so sad. All right, the new maps, guys. The new maps are out. You can just go on StarCraft. I know you guys don't do that a lot, and you can just search for ladder game, and you'll get 4 new maps. We kind of discussed about them, I think, before, or maybe not. We've played them. Chris, you've played them. NaNiwa's played them. ToD, no passion, but it's okay. Chris, what are your thoughts on the new maps?
I would, I want NaNiwa to go first, because I know I wanna counter NaNiwa's. I wanna, because he's gonna be like the evil power, and then I'm gonna try to be like a little bit of the light. You know,
No.
like we're gonna, yeah, a little
There's
bit.
evil here.
Okay, well, share your thoughts
Okay.
and then I'll respond.
So, if you didn't know, Daedalus Point is back. It's now called Inferno Pools. And there is, what is it? Secret Spring. Like, I think Expedition Lost is a pretty good map. And Research Station is also pretty decent. But a common theme seems to be like indoor expansions. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure how I feel about that, to be honest. Like, it will make for less aggressive games. And I don't know if that's really as fun as the other maps, I guess. But just from a balanced point of view, I feel that PvC on Secret Springs is pretty hard, at least for me. Because like you can't really wall off. It's like Foxtrot, I guess. But the third base is way harder to take as well. And
Go
you
ahead,
can
finish.
spawn at all 4 locations, which is a big problem. Like they should have learned a long time ago that we need
On-
like cross on ladder or Deadwing style at least.
Secret Springs, you can only spawn 2.
Yeah, but Inferno Pools was what
Oh.
I meant.
Okay.
Like you can spawn at all 4 locations, which I think
Yeah.
is really stupid.
Inferno Pool doesn't seem so fun, and I agree with the backdoor thing. I think it's really silly. It's not a concept I like. I like the expedition loss with the third that has like 3 entrants to your third, like the grass, then the 2 ramps.
You
I
like
think,
that?
well, I mean, it makes it interesting.
Like, I
it's,
think it fucks up PvP a lot, to be honest. And also PvT, like, once the rooks are down, there is just so many ways to get harassed. Or like, one base blink, for example, on that map against expansion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's what I'm
it
saying.
just makes a lot of the old builds invalid, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it
I
also
think-
encourages one base play for a longer time, which I don't like as well.
But it's so early, you know. We've not even been playing it for a week.
But I'm sure we've had similar maps like that. Do you remember Kula's Ravine, HuK? You remember this map?
But it's so different now because we have the mothership core and we have such a new meta. That wasn't that Wings or was that Hots?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
see,
Wings.
Every
but
time
the Oracle changes so much in PvP. There's like so many things that like if I want to see like real matches. Like I'm not saying something is imbalanced or isn't imbalanced yet. I just think it's way too early to give an opinion. Even like some of the things you guys talked about already on like Secret Spring PVZ. You said was a really big problem because you can't take a third
Inferno
X.
pools.
Inferno pools. What was your
Yes.
complaint about Secret Spring?
Secret Spring? Oh, let me see. Let me pull this up here.
Hey, you know, by the way, every time a map pool comes out, a lot of people are unhappy. I've never
Oh,
like,
yes.
Yeah,
seen
the
a
biggest
map pool
problem
come
I
out.
have. The biggest
and people
problem I
be
have with this
happy.
map is like the backdoor expansion, for example.
Yeah.
Like that against the Reaper, it can just like jump up in your expansion, jump down, and there's just a lot of stuff like that. There's 2 rocks on the sides, and there's like a big rock in the middle as well.
Yeah, but like the biggest thing for me is I like the new maps because it adds different play, and I think until we see like pro matches and like a large sample pool of games on it, like PVZ on this map, it's really hard to take a third base, like you said, but it's
Yes, but Inferno pools, I think it's just obvious that it's not
very
good.
hard. Yeah,
It's-
but you
it's
have
really
the
bad for
island,
Protoss.
you have the gold. I don't know.
Come on, HuK. We can't
I've
take the
I've,
island.
I've traded games pretty evenly. I think PVZ on that map thus far. I
But
just
what
feel
do
like
you can't go for a fast third base, right?
yeah, of course not. It's impossible.
That
So-
limits the map a lot, like your options.
But it
Like,
limits it
just
for
because
them too.
we win with Immortal All In doesn't mean that the map is a good map, you know? Like
Yeah.
you might win half the games, you might lose half the games, but if you play Immortal All In every game, it's still pretty boring. And I don't think it's a good concept.
Yeah, but what about just taking the island for a third base?
Yeah, maybe you're right, but it seems like
Like,
like a one-time thing, you know? Like if they go
Well-
Spire really fast because they know you're gonna do it and stuff like that.
But are you scared to play Stargate against Spire or something? Like, I would just go
No,
like.
but if they know you're doing it, then they can like do a Hydra push at the front and
But
stuff
at the
like
s-
that.
But I don't know. At the same time, they're scared of Immortal in. But I think Todd was saying this, and I agree that for me, when new maps come out, and maybe you don't feel this as much because you've been taking a break, but like the old ladder poll, I was really bored of above
Oh, yeah.
everything
I heard
else.
similar complaints from other pro gamers, like you're saying.
I'm just
Personally, for me,
happy.
I loved like Overgrowth and so on. So
Well, Overgrowth's still in there, so
yeah,
you're one
but
of the
King
few people.
Sejong and all those, except against like Swarmhost and King Sejong was like the worst days of my life.
Yeah.
Like
I
you just sat there and they rally Locust to your 4th base, and you just sit there and you flame them. And, like
Well, you flame them. I just leave with no GG, maybe at the most.
So, you guys, like, Blizzard has never fixed the map mid-season. It's like the map is added and it's like the final
But-
state. Would you be okay to like do like design changes?
But they're willing to do that. Like,
They said that?
yeah, Cyan, I'll post it in chat. Cyan just posted this and said, basically, and I think this is because so many pro gamers have been complaining. I still feel like the maps are too new to know, and we have to see a lot more games on it. But Cyan already said that the maps will be what is played for the Premier League games, but they're willing to address problems if enough people complain about a certain specific issue. You can't just say, like, this map fucking sucks, it's stupid for Protoss. That won't help them. But if you come up with like a detailed response, for example, like you said, Infernal Pools is a really bad map for PvZ because it's hard to take a third base, they can look at
Yeah,
That
but we all remember like Daedalus points, right? It was cheese every single game, and it was just like Protoss thinking up a new cheese to have a small chance of winning.
I agree, but they specifically said they could change the map. So
Yeah,
like
it's good.
so if you have like a specific complaint, then if people agree enough and they come to a consensus, then they're willing to change it. Which I think is a big step in the right direction compared to what desRow was saying before, where
But
it's
would
like,
you be like willing to take a loss on that map only because of that, and then they change it?
Yeah, but keep in mind you have vetoes, by the way, in
Of course.
tournaments. Like, how do you compare the current map pool with the old one in terms of if you look at PVZ and PVT?
Altogether?
Like if I think about PVT on the last map pool before that, I'm like, man, there is like 2 decent maps and one of them is getting vetoed out every series. So you play on 2 bad maps at least. Like, how does this one compare?
I still think it's too early to say. I don't know how NaNiwa feels. Like, overall, this map pool compared to last season, NaNiwa, do you think it's better for Protoss or worse? Or do you not know yet? Because I feel like I don't know yet.
It's like you say, I don't know yet for sure. It's impossible to say yet. You're right about that, but it just seems like they're taking a lot of precautions against Protoss with the map design, is how I feel. It might be justified though, since we have been doing very well in Korea and so on, I think.
Yeah.
In some tournaments, like, of course, statistics, like, the big tournaments, it's always like one Protoss SOS or somebody who like wins the tournament, so.
Alright, moving on to the next topic, guys.
We will see, right?
Yes. Maphackers and cheaters. It's been a big problem in NA. But I wanted to know your thoughts, NaNiwa. Do you get a lot of them on EU?
Yeah, I played this one guy in WCS, like Happy. Have you heard? No. No. Wicked. I don't know. It's really hard to know if somebody's map hacking. Like, at least for me, like it seems more obvious on the US server, but that's only because they don't have like any macro there. So like you can like
in the
see
US. They fucking tell you too. They'll be like,
Really?
yeah, they'll say I'm map hacking, like, or
like I saw this one stream with this guy who was hacking. I
Yeah,
don't
and he
remember his
streamed it.
name, but
Yeah.
it was pretty interesting to see, to say the least.
they have so many hacks too. It's like you can zoom out, like when you're in a replay or observation mode, they can zoom out, they can see production tab, they can see minimap. Like there's a bunch of different types of hacks.
But like the problem is that they can't just ban one player, right? Because then they will change the hack, and the others will not be banned, right?
The way
what they do is they like to detect the hack, right? And once it's used enough, they want to ban all the accounts at the same time, because if they detect the hack and ban someone's account on the fact that they detected the hack, then that is the case. Then they'll change the hack a little bit and it won't be very useful. On the other hand, they can ban specific accounts. So if there's enough proof against someone and they're reported enough times, then the account will be banned, and it won't be based on detecting the hack.
LiveMaw guy, right?
The what?
LiveMaw, what's his name, right?
Yeah, that was the guy that was doing disconnects, like making people drop out.
Yeah, why don't they just ban people as they use hacks anyway? Because every time they have to rebuy a new game. In any case,
they do, but there's a way or something to get really cheap accounts, or there's like a certain group of NA players that just don't give a shit and just keep getting new accounts, and they keep getting banned. But the problem is they just keep getting new accounts, and in that case, legally Blizzard can't you can't fucking IP ban someone forever, and then even then they could just change their IP, right? So Blizzard can only ban these people as much as it's reported. Like, I've talked to Sion and I've talked to Kim, and when something is reported and it's very obvious, they are banned. They just make new accounts. And then on top of that, there's a lot of them that get their accounts boosted. Like, a lot of the NA players will boost accounts for these people, so they get into Grandmaster, and then I'll be streaming or whatever on NA, and then someone will just snipe me, and I know they're a map hacker. Can you imagine playing PvP against a map hacker, even if he's only Masters?
Right.
It's really fucking hard.
Yes.
Because you're just you go Stargate, they're gonna you go Oracle, they're gonna Phoenix.
Yeah, but
you go Blink, they're gonna
Robo,
go.
Right?
Yeah, just go Blink and outplay.
But it's still really, really hard. Trust me.
How do you counter Blink, man?
like really fast robo, 1-gate robo.
Sounds like a free win to me.
That NaNiwa
No.
control.
No. I don't have top tier 3 control.
The biggest problem is that people get tired of reporting, you know, because they see people get banned, but then they see them make new accounts. So a lot of people are like, well, what the fuck? Blizzard's not doing anything. They really are doing something, and they are banning people, but people get tired of reporting. And the number way to get someone easily banned is to report on Battle.net, and it's really hard because they have to be reported a certain number of times, and especially in Grandmaster at the highest level. Like, if I play a hacker, I'll report them maybe once, and then after that, I won't report them anymore, you know? Because...
But how many reports do you know?
I don't think there's an objective number, or if there is, I don't know what it is. It has to be numerous times, though. But it's different because when you play in, like, let's say, gold or platinum level, you play against a large sample of people. So the chances of being reported numerous times is a lot higher in those leagues than if you play in, like, Grandmaster, for example. Because in Grandmaster, you're going to play the same people over and over and over and over again, especially in NA. And you're going to report once, and then you're going to say, oh, well, I already reported, nothing was done, I give up. So I feel like Blizzard should create some kind of group, and it's going to be really hard to draw the line, but of certain credible pro gamers or high-level players, and then have like a separate reporting system for Grandmaster or pro-level players. But you got to be really selective, because there's a lot of pro gamers that lose games, and then they instantly are like, that guy fucking hacked, that guy stream cheated. And it's not always the case. Why are you laughing, NaNiwa? Is that you?
Perhaps. I don't think I'm on trial here.
So it's not an easy fix. I know I said like a lot, and it's a really big problem, and a lot of people have been complaining on Reddit. But Blizzard is actively banning people. The problem is they just keep making new accounts, and people.
You can't make new accounts. You need to buy the game.
Yeah, but
it
was on sales for like $20 or $10, $10 or $20 for both.
So they were just getting new accounts.
But these Maphackers, they're like millionaires or something?
No, they just loaded Mama's credit card, man.
A lot of them have decent money, because a lot of them had pro players boost their accounts for a decent sum of money as well.
Microtransactions, guys.
Part of the swarm is a microtransaction
by hackers.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we covered everything. I know I've reported to someone from Blizzard, 2 hackers, and they got banned really quickly. But I don't know if they're going to make that process public soon. But yeah, just hang tight, guys. It's going to get fixed. Blizzard loves us. Trust me.
So let's talk about something more interesting.
Yes.
How do you feel about stalemates in StarCraft 2?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Because Lil Cannon is in a 3-hour, 40-minute game.
Oh, fuck.
And like, it seems like when Lil Cannon's going mech, he doesn't want to win. He just wants to draw, which is crazy.
Really? He does?
Because this guy is very nice from my experience, but he's a huge troll. He's the guy that like went into Caitlyn's channel and like spammed fap and got a bunch of his people too. And this was during a very.
I've seen the stream now.
Yeah.
So he can't win or what?
I guess not. No, I think there's like Vipers and a lot of spores and shit, so that he can't win, but he can't draw.
No, but it seems like his playstyle is just like turtling until like the Zerg player kills himself into his defense.
I don't know what's wrong with this though. Like, if the other guy can't win, then they should just draw, right?
I think the other guy thinks he can win, maybe? I don't know.
But that's the problem with the game though, and it won't be there anymore in Legacy of the Void because of the mineral system and all.
Yes, I agree. I think draws are it's such a small percentage of games that it's not a huge issue. If it's a draw, they should draw, as NaNiwa said.
Yes, but I meant like more specifically, like, let's say the fire kick against Mana game, like 2-hour swarm host game. Do you think that's fine?
I mean,
as long as somebody wins?
From an entertainment value, or what?
Any kind of point.
I think pro gamers, if they can win, they should be able to play out the game however long it may be. But they have to make they have to be trying to win, you know? If you're just sitting, defending, and the other guy isn't making a move to win, then it's a draw. But if there's moves to be made that could result in a win, and they are actively trying to win the game, then the game should be played on. Even if it's fucking one zealot going to kill 30 gateways, then it should fucking happen. Someone should win if they can win. But if both players are being too defensive and they're too scared to take the risks to go for that win, then it should be a draw. And I think that's pretty fair.
So you don't think Blizzard should change like Stormhost and how they act and like buff something else or something like that?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion. Like as far as what the balance of it and whether I think it's entertaining or whether something should be changed, I've always thought, and this is going to be later in the discussion as well, Swarm hosts are a very poor unit. And I guess we can segue into it now.
Yes.
That